Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing my June TBR, and firstly I want to say that winter is hitting really hard in New Zealand right now, so I apologise if you can hear rain hitting my window because it's pretty stormy outside. But yes, June is going to be kind of a busy month for me because I've got exams coming up, but the last week of June is when my exams are over, and that's the first week of my mid-year break, which means no study, so it means I will have a lot of time to read, which is awesome. So I'm anticipating getting a lot of reading done that week, but leading up to then, probably not so much. The first book on my TBR for the month is the Classics Clique book of the month, and for this month we've chosen to read The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. You can join Classics Clique in the information bar down below if you want to read a classic with me every month. This is one of my all-time favourites, so I'm so stoked that it was the one that was voted on for us to read this month. I love this book. It's set during the Victorian era, which is my favourite, and it's about a young man who kind of gets swept up in the high society kind of thing. He sees a portrait of himself and he decides that he would give anything to stay as young and handsome as he is in that picture for the rest of his life. So it's a super beautiful book. The synopsis doesn't really do it justice. It's super dark and twisted, but the writing and everything is really beautiful as well. And I just love this book so much. So let me know if you're going to be reading this one along with me this month. On the Goodreads group, which you can check out, I've put some of my favourite quotes from this book because it's got some great lines in it, so make sure you check that out if you're interested. The second book on my TBR for this month is the one that I'm currently reading, and I am enjoying it so much, and it is You by Carolyn Kepnes. You might have seen this in my library book haul from last month, and I'm about a third of the way through at the moment. This is an adult thriller, I guess, and it's written from the perspective of a man who is obsessed with a woman that he meets. He works in a bookstore, and she comes in one day and he decides that he is kind of going to pursue her, but he does it in a super creepy way because he's basically a stalker, and the whole book is written kind of in second person as if he's writing it to her. I think the fact that from the beginning you know he's stalking her, that kind of takes away some of the suspense that you might have if it was like written from her perspective, but it definitely makes it more unique being able to see things from inside his head. And I mentioned this on Goodreads recently, but it really gets to me like in a good way. There are certain things that he'll say, like just general observations about the world from working in his bookstore, dealing with customers. There's like a hipster dude that he really doesn't like, and just observations he makes about stuff like make me laugh because he's so, you know, on point, and his things sometimes are so relatable, but then you remember that he is this psycho stalker obsessive crazy person. So yeah, it's just really fantastic, and I'm loving this at the moment. The next couple of books on my TBR are more books from that library book haul that I didn't manage to get to last month. One of those was Baby, which I have now finished, but I will be talking about that in my wrap up at the end of this month. That was a New Zealand psychological thriller. And then I also have P.S. I Still Love You by Jenny Han. This is the second book in the To All the Boys I've Loved Before trilogy, and I read the first one, really liked it. The first one was about a girl who has written love letters to boys throughout her life, but without ever intending to send them, and then one day they all get sent out without her knowledge, and it's kind of all the aftermath of that, and this is a continuation from what happens in that book. So I'm looking forward to this one. It's probably going to be a very cute, like light and fluffy contemporary. The other book that I have from the library is also a contemporary, and it's Leah on the Offbeat by Becky Albertalli. This is the kind of companion novel to Simon versus the Homo sapiens agenda, which is the book that the movie Love, Simon is based off of, and this one follows his best friend Leah. I was really relieved because I had to reissue these books from the library because I went past the date that I was supposed to return them, so I renewed them, and I was scared that someone would have had a hold on this book, but they didn't. What is wrong with people? I don't know, but I was pleased that I could hold on to this one for a little bit longer so I could get to it and finish it. Then I have the next couple of issues of the Runaways comic series. This is the one that's written by Rainbow Rowell, and these two arrived within like 2 days of one another, which is weird because they're issue 7 and 8, so I don't know why they managed to arrive at the same time, but I'm pleased to have both of them. These are very quick reads, which is awesome, so there'll be something nice and like quick for me to get through this month when I just want to read for a little bit. The next books that I am hoping to get to, these are ones that I'll probably start reading in that last week after my exams are over, are books that I need to read for my next semester at uni. One of my courses is a Shakespeare course, which is new for me. I've studied Shakespeare like a little bit in high school and I've studied one play for uni, but I'm really excited to get more in depth with it. And we have 6 plays that we have to read, so I'm off uni for 3 weeks for my mid-year break, so I'm hoping to read 2 plays per week. That will put me in like a good place to start the semester. So the first one that I want to start with is Romeo and Juliet, because this is the one that I read in high school and I feel very familiar with it because I studied it, I think, both in English and in drama as well. So, and I've obviously seen like a whole bunch of adaptations of it and everything as well. I love this one, so I thought it would be a good one to start with to get me kind of like used to the language again, but with a story that I'm already quite familiar with. The other one that I thought I might read first was Othello, and this one I really don't know anything about. I believe it's a tragedy. Not entirely sure, but looking forward to reading this one as well. And then the final book that I want to get started in that last week of June is a textbook, and this is for my history class for next semester. It's Understanding the Victorians, Politics, Culture and Society in 19th Century Britain. This is just a textbook, so I'm probably not going to read the whole thing in that week. I think I'll try and get through like a third of it, so I'm reading a third of it per week. That is it for my June TBR. I'm actually really looking forward to getting to all of these books this month. I just hope that I do have enough time between exams and studying to get to everything. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think of them in the comments down below, especially if you've read You, because I'm so enjoying that at the moment. Let me know if you're going to be joining in for Classics Clique this month as well, because that's going to be super fun because I love the picture of Dorian Gray. By the way as well, if there are particular books that I've mentioned in this video that you'd like to see a full review of or something, let me know that in the comments down below as well, because I want to do some reviews on some of these but I can't decide which ones, so let me know what you'd like to see. And I will see you guys with another video in a couple days. Bye.